What a dramatic end to day 4 of the test match between India and New Zealand in Bengaluru. In fact, what a day of test match cricket we've had. It's been topsy-turvy. At one point looked like that batters were going to make merry, but then towards the end it was the bowlers that came to the party. At the moment, the figure to keep in mind is 107, because that's the target that New Zealand have been set by the Indian team after they were dismissed for 462. That is after they were dismissed for 46 in their first innings. Anyway, they've made a match of it. You'd still have to say New Zealand the clear favourites after India had a collapse, losing 7 wickets for 54 runs. Joining me as always, Siddharth, the two Siddharths, and a young test cricketer in Shashwat. Where do we start? I don't know. There is so much that has happened.
Sarfaraz, I think we should start with Sarf.
No, but 2 collapses in a space of I think 3 days is not something that I'm.
Okay, let's start with collapse. More juicy.
Yeah.
I know you're a Sarfaraz fan, but the juicy topic is the collapse.
Yeah.
2 collapses. You're right.
2
One of the the first collapse was we've spoken enough about. Also, the conditions weren't great, but yeah, they could have put up a better. As we discussed earlier, 46 could have easily have been 156 if you had applied yourself, but that didn't happen. Anyway, we've spoken much about it. Let's talk about the second collapse. Thoughts?
I think most of the dismissals that I was looking at weren't because of the fact that New Zealand bowlers bowled really well. I think there were some shots that could have really been avoided. Let's start with Sarfaraz for that matter. I think that shot was not really required at all. He could have, I think, bided his time with a new ball and then probably, could have gone for his shots. Pant, I think he was cramped for room. He got an inside edge with below root generating that extra bounce also. In case of Ravindra Jadeja, didn't really commit himself to that pull shot, got the toe end, got caught at I think square leg if I'm not wrong. In case of Ashwin also, Ashwin was slightly unlucky. Initially it felt like it was going a little up, but then it was I think umpire's call towards the end what happened. And in case of Rahul, I think he did get a very good ball. So in case of I think Sarfaraz, Jadeja and maybe to an extent Pant, I think some of the dismissals were because of poor batting.
I mean, 7 wickets for 54 runs, combined with 46 all out. In total, you have lost 17 wickets for 100 runs. Some of 2 collapses that you wanted, you got it. And that is why you had erased the deficit. 80 runs, you had scored 400 balls. I think the turning point was when that old ball disappeared. When Rishabh Pant hit that 107, when they got the new ball, plus the new ball was anyway due at that stage. New Zealand just found another gear, and it all began with that shot that Sarfaraz hit. Sure, he wanted to go on the up. He was timing it well, he was hitting it on third man, he was flicking it well, driving on the up. Sure, he might have bagged himself 150 of 194. Why not? I've gotten my in, I can go for it. But he toe-ended it. And then immediately after that, when Pant fell, about 5 runs later, again that was a good ball. The standout for me today were these 2 guys, Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke, bent their backs, bowled spell after spell after spell. And look at it, 3 dismissals, I would say, bad shots, 3 good deliveries, 1 unlucky, I may say. Ashwin was unlucky. 3 bad shots were Jadeja, you may say Sarfaraz, Siraj. The other 3 were good balls.
You can't really have Siraj as a batter here.
I mean, but then for the kind of shot, he's supposed to be the greatest. We have compared him to one great,
That's
right?
meme material.
There was a fielder placed exactly
at
for
that
that shot, and he fell into the trap. We have seen Siraj hit a valuable 10-20 runs more. Sure, the lowest India have ever defended is 104 in that abominable pitch in Mumbai. But this is a truer wicket. So that's why India could have had at least 30-40 more. You could have had shades of 2017 Bengaluru when you defended 175 against Australia.
I feel that I am personally a very big fan of batters who sort of take on the attack, and I'm always okay if a batter sort of gets out while attacking when they have gotten majority of the runs the way they have. But today, for a change, I feel that there's a very, very thin line between being over aggressive and just being aggressive in general. I think that very thin line was crossed by India in that sense. Sarfaraz Khan, even though I know he got the runs, the way he was batting all throughout the same way, but it was exactly the same shot he got out on during the first innings as well. Same thing, it was the new ball then also, new ball now also. So I think he could have been a little more sensible in that sense. Rishabh Pant definitely a tremendous ball, but after that all the batters, I think the line between being over aggressive and just aggressive, I think that was crossed. And if I am saying that, I feel definitely there was something gone wrong, because I always in the first innings what happened actually, I was absolutely fine with that, because I feel that the way the Indian Test team has been approaching their batting since a couple of Test series now, I feel after 10 games, 8 innings, sort of one innings, you might have such an innings where you sort of the whole team collapses. But then again, to repeat the same thing in the second innings also, I just thought that they just overdid it a little bit.
The only one, I mean, see, firstly, 54 runs, 7 wickets, not ideal, and that is unpardonable whenever that happens. So there is no justification for that, I agree. But today the one thing, and maybe we'll get into the KL Rahul subject as well, because all guns will be trained on him after not getting a lot of runs. What we're forgetting is that the only one that I would today hold responsible, despite the fact that he played an outstanding knock, was the Sarfaraz shot. Because at that time, Sarfaraz and Rishabh, the new ball had come, and they had spent decent amount of time blunting that new ball, primarily because behind them they had those many 100 odd balls that they had faced. So that helped them blunt the new ball. But as soon as Sarfaraz played that shot, gets out, it was going to be tough for everyone from there on. That's why I know that when we get into the KL Rahul subject, I'm not going to blame him too much, because sometimes we just look at the score, but it's actually the time that he came out to bat. It was not going to be an easy time, especially because if you remember, rough had been created. It's another matter that New Zealand the spinners weren't able to utilize those particular areas. Nothing, but it wasn't easy conditions. Just that these two batters were batting on a different level. They were set that it was good. As soon as you get that one breakthrough, the ball is still new, you get your tall fast bowlers, they're going to pitch. There were cracks also that had developed. It's a 4-day pitch, let's not forget. That's when the problem started happening. So for anyone, that is why I'm not even blaming someone. Okay, agreed, KL Rahul got a jaffer, Rishabh Pant got an outstanding ball, nothing much he could have done, there was no room, took an inside edge. Even a man who was as set could be dismissed at that ball, so fine. But I'm looking at even a Ravindra Jadeja. What happens in that situation? You have to score runs. Run scoring wasn't easy, and so he played an instinctive shot that came because it was much shorter. And I think the New Zealand bowlers realized that if you pitch in short, of course they're getting that extra bounce. It was going to, even someone like Ashwin, who usually looks very at ease in Test match cricket, even he had to play a few aggressive strokes to get the runs going. Because I think all of them knew that now on with the new ball, it's not going to be a pitch where you can hang on and survive and get a lot of runs. So you had to get runs. So I'm not blaming anyone for that. Yes, some of them could have gone on to get you a crucial 40, 50, because imagine if any one of Ashwin or a Kuldeep or a Jadeja got you a 40, 50, then you're getting to that 150 plus that we are all talking about, and you're feeling a bit safe. I agree. Maybe it's a combination of none of them firing and the condition that you came out to bat that India is in this situation. But again, in all of this, let's not forget that India was so far. See, again, we are greedy as people and we want India to do well. India was so far behind in this match, and that's when we sat here yesterday, we discussed that what are the chances. At that time we discussed to give a 200 target to give from there. That means to get 550 runs, no matter how good you may be or how good partnerships you have, there will be a mini collapse somewhere. In any innings that happens, I can have a 100-run partner, there will be and exactly what happened. The mini collapse could have happened earlier, it did not, so there was a good partnership. The mini collapse happened later. There's a reason why 550 in the second inning by third in the match. How many examples will you have that you get 550 odd runs in the second inning, no matter how? So the law of average had to catch up. Today, we may be a bit short-sighted saying because we had reached such a good position where it looked like we could give a 200-run lead. So we are now disappointed at 200-run lead was there, 54 for 7. But that is also because that is what batting is. Sometimes you'll have good partnerships, good time, good runs. There'll be mini collapses, which is why India's 462. I mean, it's funny that we are right now, and I agree, all of you are, and so am I, because it's a question of so near yet so far. But imagine we are actually going to be critical of a batting performance that notched up 462 runs in the third innings of a test match. That itself is a monumental effort.
That is the vagaries of Test cricket. If you look at, see, Test cricket will ebb and flow each and every time, and this wicket has been conducive to ebb and flowing. Okay, one moment you are on top, the other moment you are in. For example, when New Zealand had gotten even a 150-run lead, you're wondering, no, it's not enough. This pitch in the last 3 days has totally changed character. It's not assuming massive turn, it's not assuming big bounce and movement. That's the extra bounce it is, because Henry and Saudi and O'Rourke are all tall fast bowlers into that. Henry slightly short, but the other two are quite tall. Now, imagine the last, if I have to look back at it, the only test match where so much ebb and flow was happening was 1992. Sri Lanka versus Australia. Australia 256, maybe you can equate it to a 46 here. Sri Lanka notched up 547, massive 291 run lead. Australia batted with discipline, everybody chipped in double digits, 472. 181 was the target, yet Sri Lanka lost by 16 runs. Here, if the tail had just wagged, like how New Zealand's tail had wagged, another 50-60 runs.
Yeah, you just needed one person to play a Saudi.
Yes.
That's all you needed. But agreed that, who would have thought 2 days ago, if I told you, will you take 462, India getting in the second innings, you would have grabbed it by both hands.
Yes.
But because Sarfaraz and Pant batted so well, we are like, no, it should have. Yeah, and to a point, it should have. All you needed was Saudi innings.
52, 70, 150 and 99. Only 4 notable knocks. The rest of your batters did not step.
But isn't that a typical test batting lineup? In any inning, you look at New Zealand as well. When they notched up those many, that's a typical batting lineup. There will be some runs here, some are going to be
You've
disappointed.
kind of gone back to those 90s period in Indian batting where it was reliant on top 6, but there was no tail. Here,
No, but your tail, yeah, Vijayastan and Bangladesh series was
strongest in the Asian
Ashwin and Jadeja saved
but,
you.
But I
better bowling lineup.
Yeah,
You weren't tested against Bangladesh. They didn't have the best bowling lineup. I'm sorry.
sure. I want to know, and that is the biggest question, is there a chance? Everyone, I'm sure everyone who's watching would want
I
to
had
know.
given them a 10% chance, and I still maintain that 10% chance.
There is a 10% chance India defend 107. See, batting is going to be tough. Just as we were pointing out with the new ball, Indian batters, the second half, which is why I'm not putting a lot of blame on some of them. Yes, they could have got a 50, one of them, but it was tough. Even here, that whatever 4-5 deliveries that Jasprit Bumrah bowled, they were like almost impossible to play. So it's going to be tough no matter what. But 107, you think a 10% chance?
10% chance.
Okay.
I was at 25% yesterday, and the test match was yesterday. And the test match was definitely going the way I actually wanted it to go, 100 runs per session. Just 100 runs short of what I would have wanted the Indian team to be at by the end of this day, all courtesy to the mini collapse that the Indian team had. But now I think from 25% I would come to less than what Shidvi sir gave. You give 10%, I'd come down to 7%. Not even 7, to be honest. 5.
Okay. Same as yesterday, 2%.
You don't think that a miracle can happen?
Obviously, New Zealand can lose about 5 or 6 wickets, but I don't think that they'll probably get bundled out for under 100.
Gulati sir got the advantage of that we came from yesterday's post-match straight away to today's post-match. If we would have been during the day, then the percentage
No, but
would have
that's
definitely
fine.
fluctuated.
No, that is fine.
Then there would have been fluctuation.
No, I was discussing with Siddharth also that when you were about 400 for 3, I was like, you are in with a chance now. Because we were discussing
No,
that
then you would. But the point is that, no, in a test match, that's what I'm trying to say. Why is it that a collapse was unexpected? It has to happen. That's what test match is all about. Not, I mean, look at New Zealand also. They lost their first 3 was good enough. Then they had a collapse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so New Zealand also doesn't expect you, oh, we've got a good start, our first 3 have given a good run. Now everyone's going to bat like that. No, they had a collapse. And then there was another moment that you had runs. Even in the Indian batting lineup, just because, you have one good partnership, does that necessarily mean everyone's going to have? Not, that's what.
No, but this is the moment where you needed your tail the most. And
Correct.
And they failed. It's as
And
simple
not
as
just
that.
that, I feel when we talk about the Indian team and how Indian team actually plays the conditions so well, be it the Kanpur test finishing of the game in 2 days, and then I think these are the very small things. I know 550 is not does not happen usually. And here, even though you got that platform to go past that total in the third innings, you were not able to do. So when we talk about the Indian team with such high regard in world cricket now, not just Asian conditions, even when India is a traveling team also, I think these are the small changes, differences in teams that actually make you a world dominant side and just a good
No,
above.
but what tells you that India is not a world?
No,
how
India
many
is.
teams? How many? That's what I'm trying to say. We're looking at the glass half empty. How many teams would have made a test match after being dismissed for 46?
Yeah, nobody would have made
No,
a test
so they
match.
are a world class team, which is why they made it a test match. But a world class team doesn't mean that they're unbeatable.
Yeah, I do understand.
If you're talking about, let's say, what they did in Kanpur,
Yeah.
you also got to remember once the opposition, one, the bowling lineup that they were, two, it was still a 2-day pitch.
Yes.
So you're right now batting on a 4th-day pitch. It's not going to be easy. But as soon as that's why I
Third day
said,
pitch in the-
yeah, but you still had
Yeah.
a little bit. So if Sarfaraz gets out at that moment, that everyone, I knew at that time that he's gotten out. Now everyone will find it tough. You're not set. The conditions are not going to be to your liking. Ball will bounce around, which is why I said I know KL Rahul will get a lot of hate. But the fact is, see, again, that is also not in your control when you come out to bat. Like some batter comes out when there is overcast conditions, his luck, they get out, and then by the time you come out to bat, nice bright sunshine, pitches stop doing anything, so you get runs. But that's part of the game.
But
Same thing with KL Rahul.
But then that's not where the Indian team should have adjusted a little bit and gone about things a little differently after Rishabh Pant and Sarfaraz got out. Even for that matter, KL Rahul should have approached things differently and not the same way they had been approaching this innings till the point Sarfaraz
But
and Rishabh Pant got out.
what did
I
KL
think it
Rahul
was
do
just-
which was different?
No, not just, no, I'm saying after KL Rahul also, Jadeja and Ashwin for that matter,
But-
maybe not just over aggressive, you just needed about, like we talked about, 100 runs would have been ideal situation. But
Yeah.
about 50-60 runs, you would have at least given them a very good fight.
No. As I said, of course you would want one of
100
them.
runs
You
to you
needed
would have definitely been the favourite.
you needed a Saudi inning today. Of course we would have wanted. That will be the ideal scenario. No, that's what I'm trying to. Today you're sitting, you need an. But all I'm trying to say is if they took a call to bat, like at least whatever deliveries that I saw, I think Jadeja had batted 15, 16 deliveries or whatever. He wasn't. I'm sure he assessed. I don't think he felt that this could be the pitch or the condition with the new ball or the extra bounce that they're getting can be a thing. I think also it was an instinctive shot. Same with Ashwin. I think he started off with a fantastic stroke.
Straight drive. He
Yeah.
was batting well straight.
Yeah.
But then that
But look
one-
at that delivery that he got. What
That's
could he
why I
have?
said,
What could he have done?
Your entire tail, both innings combined, have still fallen short of Saudis.
Which is why I'm saying I think New Zealand will also be troubled.
Troubled, yeah,
in these conditions. The fact is that you are about, as I said, 60-run shot. But that 60-run shot is not down to your. See, every brain will go now. But that 60-run shot is not so much down to this inning. It's down to what you did in the first inning. You had to pay the price.
Yeah.
It's like पापों का प्राश्चित करना पड़ता है ना sometimes.
I
You
would
have to pay the price for it now.
But I would have still expected the Indian team. I see, again, I know, like you mentioned, maybe I'm just looking at the glass half empty. But I think I have those expectations with this test team. The way they have played till now, I was definitely expecting. That's why I even gave 25% yesterday.
Arey, more than you are. On the day one, I had given them 30%. I told them they'll get 550 in the after first day. But the thing is, okay, when we sat here yesterday, at least I felt that there is more chance of India dismissing, supposing if there is a 160 plus, I have more faith in Indian bowlers dismissing them for 160 than India reaching 550. Because at somewhere you will have one good knock, you will have some good knock. At somewhere you will have a collapse. That's why it doesn't happen. It's tough. I see, again, I was as disappointed as you are right now that, oh, come on, you're so far. You're 150. One of you, Ashwin, could have stood. KL Rahul today, could have stood up, given us that thing. 150, we are at 520, 530. We are in the game. There's pressure. We wanted that. But all I'm saying is that after it calms down, after that anger comes down, and then you look back and you say that, listen, this is a team that 9 out of 10 teams would have by now finished. That maybe 7 out of 10 would have lost in the innings defeat. Some may have just gone slightly up. This team is still, the fact that we are sitting here and discussing that, is there a chance? So I agree.
Disappointed for that man.
I was, yeah. But then I'm also looking at what they've achieved. I think the pain here for me more is that 46.
46, yeah.
If that 46 on that day could have been 150, which is possible. I agree, very tough conditions, impossible to bat on. But all you needed was 1 or 2 guys to take the blows, take it. and that first 2 hours you would have gone past. And I go to everyone, including the openers. They did the tough job in the beginning. They had all played 15, 16, 17 balls. If they had like all stuck it, today is not the day for me to, drive. Rohit Sharma says today is not the day for me to drive. Today is the day, and he has done earlier. If everyone had done that, maybe you would have got between 120 to 150. I agree, Tapan. That's the difference. That is the difference.
But I still like, again, I still feel absolutely the opposite, because I wasn't, again, see, when you're batting like that, like I mentioned, I expect a team to get all out, or not on 46.
You can't, 46 is unpardonable.
No, not 46, about 80,
If
90,
we go
100.
with that attitude, that 46 is okay, you back away. And more often than not, you will.
46.
If you were to ask the Indian team, they will say that this is not what
No,
you
I'm
should.
saying 100, 110, I do expect the team.
No, that's exactly what I just said.
So, but again,
So what you're saying is not the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
I just
it's
said
the
that.
same thing, yeah.
So it's not the opposite.
But I would have-
46, how can you be okay?
I would
with?
have wanted the team to get those runs here. More
I would
than
have too.
that.
I too. But
More
all
than
I'm
that.
saying is,
Which is why I said Test cricket is not like video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
correct.
It isn't.
Correct.
But the two batters did play
No, but
like that.
for us it is not like. For him, he has done it.
Not
So
for-
See, because
Sarfaraz
you
Khan.
expected India on your home turf to put up a better fight.
Yeah.
And they have done it in the past. I mean, as I said.
no, but is this not a better fight? It's an amazing fight.
They delayed, you may say if New Zealand win tomorrow, they delayed the inevitable.
If he is giving a 10% chance, Bhalla is giving a 7% chance, that means India have put on a brave fight.
Yeah, they have.
They have. It's-
Again, we should not be happy with just a fight, nah. Seeing how far.
No, but we are. If you had said at the start of the Test match, are you okay with India losing? Definitely not. This New Zealand team just lost to Sri Lanka. They are in the doldrums. You can't be losing to them,
Four
of course.
straight Test
But
losses.
once you are 46 all out, I'm sorry. From there on, if you're giving a fight, I'm taking it.
See,
As I said, your blunder was that.
Yeah.
When you made that blunder, everything from there on, by the way, look at it from New Zealand's point of view. No matter which team is playing, it is New Zealand, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, any team, you dismiss the opposition for 46. And from there on, you go and lose the Test match. Unpardonable, no matter who you're playing. Even the great Aussie team, the great West Indian team in the past, no matter how strong they are, if they are dismissed for 46 in the first innings, and after that the conditions improve and you can bat just as way. From there, if you lose, look at it from that point of view, from that team, will that team be justified to lose a Test match from there? No. But yeah, if that other team who got out for 46 gives you a fight, that's another thing.
That's another thing. And see, New Zealand tomorrow can script two remarkable things. One, the men's team have not won a Test match since February. Okay, they have lost 4 tests on the trot. They could win a test in India after 36 years on the back of 4 consecutive test losses.
Yeah.
Second, the women's team, 10 T20Is on the trot, they could win tomorrow against South Africa.
Yeah, and you will bring some mithai, obviously, if New Zealand win then.
Well, let's
They
see.
bring double mithai.
Well,
Probably a men's team
Wednesday.
probably winning and the women's also.
Men's though, he's given them only 10%.
But I think there is one more point that I would like to discuss. The missed opportunity that India had when New Zealand were 233 for 7.
Yeah.
They went on to score 402.
Of course,
from
we
there
discussed that.
your
Yeah.
two major factors are that only.
If you had got them,
170 odd runs.
but again, as I say, just look at it like Test cricket. They will have some revival. Somebody steps up. There have been times where Indian tailors stepped up. Jadeja and Ashwin.
Plenty times in the last 10 years.
Shami Bumrah in Lords, they did step up at that time, 2021.
Just now Bangladesh.
But
Just now
again-
we see. Anyway, my turn to pick the percentage. You guys have picked. I'm giving India
20.
a 50% chance of not losing this Test match
Draw.
because the rain.
Assuming rain stays away.
No, I'm not assuming that. I am assuming the rain is going to come.
And what if
Tomorrow
rain
evening.
And what if rain stays away?
That's the prediction.
The rain stays away, then it's a different.
No,
rain
then what
stays
is the
away,
prediction? See, we have made our prediction.
I
You
have
also
given-
like to do.
I have given 50% chance. India does not lose the Test match.
Nobody
IYK.
kept keeping in mind rain out of the context.
Yeah,
of
Yeah,
this.
rain out of the
then how much?
But rain will come into the
No,
context.
but we didn't take it.
What is the
nah.
weather report say?
Tomorrow the weather is, it is going to rain in the evening session.
Morning
don't
and
say
afternoon is.
Because what's
like,
happening is in
But
the-
it's cloudy morning and
It will be
afternoon.
cloudy,
Yeah.
but what's happening is it's raining from evening to night. So technically, when it rains full evening to night in Bengaluru, it doesn't rain in the
Plus,
night.
I think we
morning.
cannot fully trust in this thing because
because
there
of
were
it.
thunderstorms were predicted in the last couple of days, also in the afternoon session,
No,
but
but
that wasn't really the
5
case.
o'clock, it's proven
Yeah, yeah.
right.
No, just 1 day out of the 5 days, it's proven right.
2 days. Today also it was proven right. Today,
I'll
the
click
evening
on
weather-
Sunday,
Not
please.
just today, it has proven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, there is tomorrow thunderstorm in spots, and I'm pretty much sure it will all begin towards evening time. And I don't think the test match is going to the evening.
Just
It's not going to the
First
evening
session,
time.
maximum. Session.
One and a
But
half
what if
sessions.
it starts off with the rain and keeps raining?
then it's
Then
a different thing.
India would have gotten out of even Alcatraz for that matter.
Okay. Let me address it. If no rain,
Yeah.
assuming you get then I'm giving India a 15% chance.
Whoa, maximum of the
You
lot.
never know,
Yeah,
yeah.
you never know,
Because
yeah.
it is, I'm telling you, it is
It
going
could
to
be
be tough task. Pressure, the pitch is doing, which is why I said I'm not blaming that Indian tail that much. The ball's going to move around. You have a new ball. So yeah, I think from New Zealand's point of view, if I were New Zealand, I wouldn't look to hang around.
Yeah, just go
Yeah,
score
yeah,
runs.
go
That's
for
it.
your-
Going to
What
win
New
that.
Zealand will have to do.
That's the best way.
Two things. The new ball is active for what 20 overs, where you can just get that much amount of movement. Because India don't have a third pacer. Now that is when this whole situation will be compounded.
But you do have a right-handed in-swinging menace, as Rahul Dravid once said.
If his shoulder holds up, that is. Yeah, he can come in. Yeah, I mean, why not? He did bowl when New Zealand were almost
Yes.
2 down in that Hagley Oval Test match.
And he can get into drift very
He
well.
almost got Henry Nicholls out.
No, but let's not get Virat. Let's not reach that stage that Virat Kohli is coming
So,
out to bowl.
two-
It will be
yeah.
decided before
Yeah,
that.
20 overs, India's bowlers will have the sway on this particular
Yeah.
wicket because it will be cloudy also. But then once the ball gets older, run scoring will become easier. That's what happened in the new Indian innings also today.
Okay. Now the other big question that needs to be answered. Whatever the result, next test match, Sarfaraz stays, goes, if stays, who stays out, if he goes out, assuming Gill is fit and available, what is happening
What
next?
about Rishabh Pant? Because he's not keeping wickets.
No, but again, assuming everyone is fit, yeah. Address the
So-
question. Don't look for the
No,
rain
no.
excuse like
I
was
have
looking.
my answer
Like I was
ready.
looking for the
Yeah,
rain
I
excuse
have
that
my
rain
answer
will come and save us.
I think, you cannot leave out a batter who has scored 150 in a match. So it's as simple as that
So
for me.
what are you doing?
Sarfaraz stays, KL Rahul goes out.
KL Rahul goes out.
It is going to be a harsh call. See, personally,
But you're going to pick and choose players 1-1 test match. Every test match somebody scores.
how
then
do
he
you leave
comes in.
someone out who has scored 150?
We have left people out
Had
who
he
got
scored
hundreds
50
and 300s.
Had he scored 50, then it would have been a different
We have
discussion
left people
altogether.
out after triple
No,
hundred.
that's okay, but my
Arun
cricketing
Nair will
logic,
tell you that.
my cricketing logic tells me that I'm not going to drop him. It's as
So,
simple as that.
so KL Rahul goes out.
Yeah,
for
it's
you,
going to
sir.
be a very harsh call, knowing that Rohit Sharma and even I had also predicted this thing that it's time to give KL Rahul that consistent run at number 6. Now that Sarfaraz has got 150, what do you tell him to leave him out?
I liked what Ravi Shastri said in commentary. He was asked the same question. What do you do? He said, Sarfaraz stays for me. So who goes? I don't know who goes out, but Sarfaraz stays. So that's an easy thing to do.
It's a very easy
No,
thing.
don't involve me. Don't
No,
get
but you put us in a situation. No, you tell.
No, because you're not Ravi Shastri. Na? Your quote will not
It's a
be put in the
tricky,
newspaper
very
tomorrow.
tricky situation.
His will be.
Yeah, it's
Very
good.
tricky, very
Very
tricky
tricky.
question. See, out of 3 things, what Rohit Sharma said in the press conference was that KL is getting an extended run.
Yes.
At number 6. But you have to address your number 3. Because your number 3 was not there. Your batting order was a kind of a kerfuffle. Let's be very honest about it. You want a number 3, that's Shubman. Sarfaraz then will have to be on the chopping block then. I know it's very unpopular. I hope it doesn't happen. But it looks like that is the case.
No, what are you doing?
I am saying
You are Ajit
Shubman,
Agarkar.
Sarfaraz,
No, you will be Rohit Sharma, na? Because 11th to Rohit
A
Sharma.
part of
Shubman in, Sarfaraz out.
Okay, see, a part of me also,
very hard.
like a part of me tells me that Sarfaraz might be left out. But just going by the cricketing logic, I feel he should be
No,
retained.
this time it's not what is going to happen.
Yeah.
You're not preempting what Rohit is doing. You are saying You are Rohit Sharma. You have said what you have.
Yeah.
You are
I am
Rohit Sharma.
Shubman is back. Sarfaraz is out.
Hanji.
Really sad and unfortunate, but even if I am Rohit Sharma and that is what the team is going to do, today I'm having a very opposite of me sitting here, I feel.
No. You have
I'm
not
telling-
what they will do,
No,
but what you.
Even what I think and what I think even they will do the same thing. I would let go of Sarfaraz for a
After
game.
his, you're a big Sarfaraz fan.
Yeah, I'm a very.
You want to start the show by talking about his
yeah,
batting.
but definitely again, and I'll tell
We
you.
will talk about it.
Yeah,
obviously.
we will. Yeah, but a very big reason for that is that I am a very big fan of the fact of giving players a longer rope also. And Sarfaraz has definitely scored 150, but this time dropping KL Rahul would mean that it could just be the end. I don't see him making a comeback. See again, because once we have seen the team moving, because it's not like KL Rahul
No, so
is a
why
youngster.
should that be a consideration that we don't want to see? So supposing you are thinking the reason you're leaving him out is that because now if I leave him out then it's the end of his career. So what if you think, by the way, that if this guy deserves a chance and if this will mark the end of his career and Sarfaraz is the guy who takes forward, then so be it. If it is good for Indian cricket, you have to look at what is good for Indian cricket.
See, I know that Sarfaraz, I can communicate it to Sarfaraz that he knows that he's the person next in line and he's pushing somebody like a KL Rahul a lot. So just a couple of more failures for KL Rahul and I think it's going to be the end for KL Rahul then. But as Rohit Sharma has also talked about
So
it.
you're saying like that. Achha, you're looking at this way, like
I'm saying it
Sanjay
once and for
Manjrekar
all.
had said about Virat Kohli. Give him one or two more chances and let him
please don't join
know
my
that
name
he
with
does.
Virat Kohli, please. Yesterday you did that and.
No. I'm saying like you.
Yeah,
You are
with
not
Virat,
talking about.
an example with Virat Kohli also I don't want anything.
Sun
to do.
lo
No,
mere
it's not
bhai.
you, Sun. You
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I'm saying what you are saying is how Sanjay Manjrekar had once said about Virat Kohli. You are not saying about it. Where he had said that give him a couple more chances so that you're 100% sure he doesn't belong there. So are you saying that for KL Rahul, I'm asking, that give him a few more chances so that you're 100% sure he doesn't belong there and then get Sarfaraz finally? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I exactly mean. Because at this point, dropping a KL Rahul would mean nothing. You'll just Sarfaraz Khan again, nothing. No shocker here in terms of him scoring 150 runs. We all knew this was coming. Yesterday also when he was playing at 70, we were 100% sure that he's going to convert it. Not 100%, 99% sure that he's going to convert it into a big century. And
We were actually talking double 100 if you
100.
remember.
He predicted a double 100.
I predicted a double 100. I was very sure that he's going to get that. But again, that's
No,
short.
anyway, we'll talk about his shot
Yeah.
a little later.
But-
But you are picking?
I am picking KL Rahul, and then now I know that with KL Rahul, however much I back him, however much I believe in his skill set and all of that as a captain, I will have to let him go then.
Okay.
And
After a
no-
few more failures, so he's
because
ready to
no,
go.
75 games.
Yeah,
80,
I also
Tough
think
question.
that you know to have a sword hanging on a player's head is also not fair. You have invested in him in such a way that you did not even push him to number 3 and were ready to push Virat Kohli from his regular position to 3, which means you want to give him an extended time. So if you have decided that, then one test match cannot be a decision maker that you've done it. It's happened in the past where players who've gotten runs, they've still been asked to sit out saying, okay, you are going to come in, provided we have taken a final call for a player. So the question to answer right now, and this is what I asked myself before I thought that, have I taken a final call on KL Rahul that is done and dusted? No, I have not. So if I have not taken a final call, then I give him a few more games. And then by the time you reach, of course, Sarfaraz is going to travel to Australia.
Yeah.
100%. He's the next in line. He knows that. So if I have not taken that call, then he gets at least a couple more test matches in this New Zealand series. Then we get to know where he stands and what it is, and you go forward. That takes me.
Though.
It is a tough question. That takes me to Sarfaraz's knock. Maiden test. Let Shashwat, because he's
I'll be-
salivating. So
Yeah, I'll be very honest here. Sarfaraz Khan.
maiden test done.
Yep.
I think Sarfaraz Khan teaches you how to live life in general in that sense. I'll be
Wow.
very honest because it's just so fascinating. Just see him do so well because it's been so long. I've never seen that guy or anyone from his near and dear family complain about the fact that he's not being selected. I remember even after.
No, he did complain.
No, he did not complain just once in so many years, and he didn't even complain. His father, I remember when he was, I think Rajat Patedar in that England series was picked ahead of Sarfaraz at the time when Sarfaraz was scoring so many runs. I remember his father came out with that poetry.
His father is a very good shire.
Very good shire.
Yeah.
I mean, he decided that shire also in the
Yeah.
conclave and Nikhil did. So.
So he came out with that poetry saying that what it meant actually was it just my work is work for my son is to score runs and the chances will automatically come. That's exactly what he's done. And see, technically and aesthetically, I mentioned this yesterday also, not the most pleasing one in this Indian team. Many of them are much more pleasing. Many shots, he just went.
No, but he's pleasing in his own way.
He's pleasing in his own way, but you just
And not
90%
conventional.
90% of his shots outside off, he's just standing there and just.
Which is
touching
like
with
the
them,
most
third man.
bizarre cut
exactly,
that I've seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's not even a
proper
cut.
cut.
It's not even a cut.
It's like a slice.
It's not even a slice.
he's just
It is a
directing it.
fidget.
Yeah,
I've given
exactly.
it. It's a fidget.
It's a
It's there.
fidget.
I'll just fidget.
And he's just nowhere.
And
did
it's
he-
effective. He does it
Yeah,
by design,
yeah.
not.
And still, I think he's just learned just scoring runs after runs and runs, just piling on runs. He has learned how to score runs anyhow.
Yeah.
Even if he's not in form, whatever the ball is doing, whatever is happening, he knows how to score runs. And that is exactly what you want from a batter. And just the fact to make peace with this thing at such a young age that I am just suited to one format, the format that is not.
No, I don't think he thinks like that.
No,
He wants to
no,
be
no,
part
no.
of
I
other
don't think he
formats.
doesn't. See,
No,
again,
no, of
but
course he
during
does.
the IPL,
He
he
does.
was practicing with the red ball. I think
That's
those
because
were
he was
very-
not part of it.
Part of any.
No, no,
Yeah.
but at that point also he would have.
Yes.
If he would have been in that
Doesn't
sense.
matter. I've spoken to him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sarfaraz.
yes.
Yes.
He wants to.
Be in all
Who
formats.
likes to? Cheteshwar Pujara also wanted to play T20.
Yeah, he wanted to play, but
Nobody,
you know,
he
inside-
respects Test cricket
Yeah.
the most is another thing.
Yeah.
But nobody likes. Let's be honest. Yeah, nobody likes to be left out. When an IPL is happening, everyone is playing. He wants to be part of it. He wants to prove. See, at the end of the day, a batter is a batter. He thinks his job is to play to the situation, and he's a accomplished batter who's playing at the highest level. He also feels that at a given time, given a chance, I will play. Who wouldn't want to be part of it? That he's not been picked is unfortunate. Though I think now, after this, though it's a different format, he's playing Test cricket, IPL. Last IPL auction, he went unsold. It was a mini auction, he went unsold. Before that, hardly got any chance. He would with your franchise Delhi.
No, in
When
fact,
he played one or
in
two.
the first time he broke out into the cricket circuit through the IPL only.
Yes, I know
RCB,
that.
in RCB.
No, he came under 19 cricket as
Yeah,
well.
2014.
But he was there with RCB. He was few seasons with Delhi
Yeah.
also. That's what I'm saying.
Delhi played on different
But he did
numbers.
not get that consistent
Yeah,
chances.
he
Even the RCB did not get those consistent chances. So if you're asking him today that that you're a one format batter, definitely not. He'll say I am everything. Yes,
Yeah.
Test cricket is the pinnacle for me. He wants to be. Now I think with his Test form, whether he is a regular in the 11 or not, we don't know whether
I think what I'm
he will be up for
Yeah,
the auction, and I'm sure he's going to get a bid this.
But what
I don't think he's going to go
say is that he was
unsold.
one format player in that sense. What I was trying to say is that once I'm not in the Indian team and I have 3 formats to go after and try to make it to one format specifically. Most of the players who haven't broken to the Indian team yet would first try to do it through the white ball circuit because it's much easier. You have the IPL, but to still carry the go on the route that is much more difficult. That is what I mean.
No. He was always at Test. That's the pedigree that he comes from. Pujara was also similar. He would,
but
give
to start
attention
with
to.
19 and everything of that time, he was much more aggressive. He was known to be an
He's
aggressive.
still aggressive.
still aggressive.
No,
He
in
came
white
into
ball
the
cricket.
IPL as well also as an aggressive batter only. That doesn't mean that he doesn't desire. But he puts Test cricket on top.
Up on top.
That is
He said
100%.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
interview
yeah.
that Test cricket is real cricket.
And he's the less talented of the two brothers.
That's another debate we will
But-
do.
Just wait.
A guy, a short height from Mumbai doing well in cricket. Where have we heard that before?
Many.
There was a Gavaskar, there was a Tendulkar, same from that school of.
Also, Kamli was also short.
Yeah, but Kamli never had prolonged success.
Ah.
He was a
Ajinkya?
flash in the sky when you look at it. Ajinkya, he's not a typical, you may say, yes, he looks aggressive, but he's that old school grinder that we have seen.
Prithvi short.
But Prithvi, straight.
But he's saying doing well. The one thing about Sarfaraz's knock today, I think it was an outstanding knock. I agree with Shashwat where he says that, he feels that he tells you how to live a life or whatever. For me, he gives you joy. When he's batting, you just somehow feel happy for him. For whatever reason, when he is batting, you feel happy for him. Because, of course, knowing his backstory, you appreciate what he's gone through. But also just generally, the way he's so busy, and I know there are a lot of comparison with Javed Miandad and so on and so forth. He does that today, that clip has gone viral.
The
where
leap
he's
today definitely
telling-
was of Miandad.
Yeah, telling him, go back, which will now continue.
Under 19 teammate.
But I'm saying that he backs his game. Even though he's not certain he'll play the way. But what I want is that I think today New Zealand just did not, do their homework with Sarfaraz to begin with. They continue to bowl outside the off stump, bowl shot to him, bread and butter. If I am a captain, which they later did, I will have a deep point for him and a third man for him all the time. Imagine, I'm just saying, just look at him. You spoke about how a young short guy from Mumbai not doing well. Those young short guys from Mumbai came from the Mumbai school of batting where everything is the V, not allowed to cut the ball at all. You're just playing in the V. Sarfaraz had 2% runs in the V.
Yes.
Out of all his runs. Anything but the two short guys from Mumbai that you spoke about would do. Exactly the opposite. He's going square. So completely changing, which I like. I mean, he's changing the way he's batting. I'm enjoying all that. But I'm saying teams did not realize there will be a top order batter who will bat like that. Now that teams will have that video analyst, they may have shots for his cut, his late cuts and various things. You try and choke him there, then you have to see if he has other gears as to then get you runs from other parts of the ground.
After
that will be interesting.
After that
going
1 hour
forward.
blitz that he had in the first 1 hour when they were just scoring runs very quickly, New Zealand did have a third man at a deep point.
Later, that's what I'm saying. But once you're set, then I can hit at will wherever.
Exactly.
He's got his punches. He's a predominantly back foot player, so you understand what he's going to do. So, of course, next time when he's going to be there, if he plays the next test, who knows? Maybe they go with the team that Gulati has picked and not what we have. Then you will get. He will be.
KL Rahul.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, so with the team that he has picked.
You have only picked Sarfaraz. Oh,
Yes.
You
I picked
My
Shubman
only point
Gill.
is, how do you tell a guy that we are going to leave you out despite the fact that you have scored 150 in the
you-
playoffs?
I
told
just
him
told
so
you.
many
300 guys have been told.
And he was told when he was scoring 1,000 runs in the season.
No,
he was
but
not
it's
picked in
not.
the
It's
side
not just the
only.
case of this match. You look at the 4 test matches that he has played this year, 350s and 100.
No, he's averaging 70 plus or something like that. So
how do you
that
tell
way,
him?
of course, but see
And
again,
all those performances are
no,
from this year.
it
only.
happens in white ball cricket also. You
Yeah.
get a young kid, he scores a lot of runs, but then the bigger player comes and then you have to sit. It has happened in cricket all the time. And also somewhere back of his head, by the way, even he will have that idea that, listen, I came in because that one person is injured, but I made my mark.
Yeah.
He is going to come back, but maybe I will get a permanent slot. He'll have to wait for someone to fail.
He is just
even though
pushed.
it's not the
I think he's just pushed KL Rahul to an even further
correct.
corner.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Makes sense, makes
He has
sense.
pushed him 2 more steps closer.
KL
to that.
Rahul would have come one step ahead with that 50 in the last game, that fluent 50. But I think now it's
No,
three
I
steps
agree
back.
with your perspective also. Just that
No,
I
no,
feel
you agree.
Yeah,
With you, Ravi Shastri also. agrees.
I
So
also
you have
agree with
you have a more accomplished Test cricketer agreeing with
but
you
it-
than the one that we have. Agreeing
Yeah.
with us.
But if I have to describe Sarfaraz's innings, I'll include one of the reactions that I did in the reaction video, and obviously you can watch the video for other reactions. Sarfaraz dhoka nahi dega. I think it's a dialogue of a movie that
PK.
Siddharth told me. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's from PK. Yeah, Sarfaraz to धोखा नहीं देगा.
He's such a, you call that in Hindi, no? Jujharu batsman. He's typically that.
He's fun also.
Khadus.
Yeah.
He's
No, he's not khadus.
no, he's not Khadus. He's
His batting is Khadus.
What do you call it?
No,
He's
no,
a
no.
busy player.
Busy,
He's busy.
yeah, busy.
He's
Jujaru
just
is
busy.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
but Jujaru is a gutsy guy who
Gutsy,
will show all the guts.
I know.
But he's definitely
You're from
not
Delhi, na?
Yeah.
Hindi should be like.
My Hindi is fine.
You went
He
to
and
English,
Harshad.
English medium school.
No.
That's why you ignored Hindi.
He and Harshad, both their Hindis, I don't know what goes wrong. I speak better Hindi than them.
Yeah, you two have a very good Hindi.
Okay, Rishabh Pant, his knock.
Oof.
Nothing.
If one is Khadus, that
A
guy is
half-fit
crazy.
Rishabh Pant was still too much for New Zealand.
Not half fit.
No, he
No,
was
he was
limping.
limping,
If you saw him running between the wicket, walking also, he was limping.
Yeah, he was
That's why, see, the thing with Rishabh is, he has already in this short span played such great test innings that this will not come in his top 5 or anything because he's already put the benchmark so high. But for any other normal player, this would be in a top innings simply because of his fitness. He was having that knee trouble, not being able to run. You saw him limping a few times, and yet he did not mind going down on his knee.
Yes.
He was going down to sweep. It's not easy. Imagine something is sore in your body, you try and avoid it. He was going down.
I mean, that
Going for those.
That 107
shots.
meter 6 that went to Anil Kumble's circle, it was just.
Oh my
And he
God.
That was audacious.
And he came on his number only. It wasn't like he delayed his
came at
number in
5.
that sense.
Yeah, Dale Steyn, did you see Dale Steyn's tweet on that?
No, I
So
saw some-
apparently he's like, I think he got out and Dale Steyn was very unhappy because he said, I jinxed him because he read on Twitter, somebody said, what a 6, he's gone down, smashed it out of that. He read that. As soon as he read that tweet, he turned on his TV, there he gets out. So he's like, damn, I should not
Well,
have.
Dale Steyn would know a thing or two are audacious because when he bowled a middle stump Yorker, AB de Villiers lofted him over deep extra cover for a 6.
His 7th nervous 90s, and that's exactly the
Oh,
number
yeah.
of centuries
7.
any wicketkeeper has ever gotten to.
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant also 7 centuries only.
6.
Wow.
6 centuries, 790 plus score.
790 plus.
790. He's already in Michael Slater, Rahul Dravid's league.
Imagine 13 centuries.
And already the greatest India's wicketkeeper batter.
That I have said
Definitely.
for a long time, without doubt.
Without
At
doubt.
such a
Only
young
26
age of 27
matches.
years, he is
And
already the
we were
greatest
having a-
wicket-keeper batter in Test matches for India.
I was having a debate early in the morning. I want to know what are your thoughts on this also. That many people think that Rishabh Pant is not that technically sound, whereas on the
No!
Yeah, exactly,
He is.
exactly.
No. I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
I-
example.
yeah,
I'll give you two
yeah,
examples.
yeah,
Two
yeah.
examples to tell you he is one of the most technically sound
Exactly.
players. One is the 46 all out. When the conditions were tough, everyone was struggling. Not the amount of balls he's played, but how assured he looked
Yeah,
even in those
exactly.
conditions. The other example is the semi-final 2019 World Cup.
yes.
Please look at that semi-final
Yes.
where
32.
the ball was doing everything. It's not even the score. Everyone was struggling because of the seam movement. It was not easy. But look at Rishabh Pant's knock of 30 odd
Exactly.
in those conditions. He's so assured. There he's not playing his adventurous stroke. He's not playing aggressive ki, oh, conditions are like that, so I'll get out. He played conventional, straight batted, front
He
foot
was
back.
Just
Driving-
the punch, the way he defenses.
He's from the Tarak Sinha school of cricket. How can he
And
not play?
I still remember since a very early age. I remember Tarak Sinha sir used to be really annoyed with this fact that I remember the 300 he got against Tamil Nadu, if I'm not wrong, in the Ranji Trophy season. That he had really great. I think he got a 250, run a ball 100. I think his last 100. And Tarak sir was really, really annoyed with this fact. But everyone there, just one thing that was said to is that if somebody's got to 300, he would have definitely defended some balls. In that sense.
Yeah.
And his defense in that sense
Very
is
good.
really,
Very good,
it's
yeah.
very solid.
See, I'll tell
very
you
few batters have such a solid
No,
defense.
also I quote Dean Jones' example. He used to tell me a lot of time. He said, people like for Sehwag and everyone, they said they are aggressive batter. He said you cannot be a successful Test batter if you
Exactly.
don't have a good defense. So that base has to be there for you to succeed. Over and above that, you can develop a stroke play, you can be adventurous, you will have some quirky shots that you'll play. Each batsman develops that. He said even for Viv, right? Like he would play aggressively, he'd play a lot of cross-batted shots in Test matches. But he said the defense has to be immaculate to play in those conditions. You're playing county cricket in England in June, July, you need to have a compact technique. And he
And
would
he has
score
runs
those
in
runs.
England, he has runs in Australia. You cannot be
I mean,
scoring
no, no,
Except
hundreds
New
without
Zealand, he's got runs
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing. And again, we mistake dashers for not having good technique.
Exactly.
Look at Gilchrist. Very compact technique. He had only 3 strokes in the book. The cut, the pull and the slog sweep.
He just takes a half step for that back foot and he just pierces the offside
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
back
he's
foot.
very-
Yeah.
See,
Punch.
with
No doubt.
Pant, the
And his
odd-
punch is so effective.
Punchy.
Very punchy.
punchy. So look, Rishabh Pant.
SG is making some special bats for him, definitely.
See, he is.
SS bats are also very good.
But he uses SG.
He uses SG.
His
Virat uses
audacity is
SS.
next level. That one, I mean, who sweeps a fast bowler to Anil Kumble's circle here? 107 meters.
Oh my God.
That is the shot of the year for me. Down on one knee, dodgy knee still, whack. It made such a good sound. So
That's why it's hard to believe that he hasn't still sort of arrived in T20 cricket.
nobody, see, T20 cricket. it's not-
T20 eyes.
T20 eyes, yeah.
But
See,
IPL
a Gilchrist wasn't a success. A Sehwag wasn't a success in T. It's a very difficult format.
I think he tried to overdo in the shortest formats. I think if we are playing with this mindset in Test cricket, we should be a step ahead in the white ball format. I think that's where.
No, but where does Pant bat in T20 Ice? 3, 4, 5.
3, 4.
Now he has started to bat
4,
at 3.
5,
Earlier it
but
was
5.
5.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get an average of 40 and 180 striking
Yeah,
and batting at number
yeah, I
5.
agree with that.
And everybody can't have great success in T20 Ice. I mean, look at Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are exceptions to the norm. You can't be like them. Amongst the Fab Four, so-called Fab Four, only Virat has got success in all three formats.
Yeah, nobody
Smith
else.
doesn't have, Williamson doesn't have. Williamson at one point used to, now it's gone. Root never. So that is why being an all-format player is not easy. So many greats have come and have not done well in T20Is. For example, like Kevin Peterson never had those big numbers in T20Is. But will you doubt him as a match winner? No, he was great. He was England's greatest match winner.
No, he had a decent IPL.
IPL he had a very
50 some record. He made how many consecutive 50s?
I think it was for Delhi.
Delhi only.
Only, I think he
The
had
same
that.
season
or
when Sunny Gupta
Hyderabad?
played.
I think Delhi. Because
Delhi.
when in 2012 only, I think.
12 exactly. Sunny Gupta season. He was one very crucial.
Sunny Gupta season.
Don't
What about season?
Mone Mogul was dropped.
Bonham, your purple cap winner was dropped. Imagine.
Okay, let's take questions now.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Yes, Shivam.
Rishabh Pant scored 99. Now he's injured also. He will be rested for the second test?
Second test match, there's a lot of gap, so we don't.
Not really.
It's
Just,
just a
4
3-day
days.
gap.
No, but I'm saying if he could recover in 2 days and play 4 days, may he'll be there.
Won't they want to rest him in order to not aggravate it?
Depends actually, I don't know. But if that was their concern, then would he be in batting for
But this
so long?
test match was to be saved, na? He would not. He
No,
had
but
to.
look at the way he's batting, running, doing everything.
I think any
I
which
don't know.
ways,
Superman.
any which ways, what I feel is that even if he's half fit, I think India might have him as a batter, and you have Dhruv Jurel, which means KL Rahul might still go out.
No KL Rahul and no Sarfaraz. That is very harsh.
See, what ideally
Can you
should-
drop? Can you like leave out Rishabh Pant even
No,
if
you
he's
leave
half
it
fit?
out. You're resting him in that.
See,
He
Nobody will
can, he
be
can
lost
field,
one.
he
You
can
might
field
be-
in slips, and that's what a lot
No,
of players do when
Gulati,
they're injured in Test
the
cricket.
problem is it's a double whammy now. If India lose tomorrow,
Yeah.
you are 1-0 down, you have to save the series. Okay, you're caught up in that. But second, Pant, my main X factor for the BGTs, I'm risking aggravating it further. Then what do I do? If he gets injured and his knee worsens even
Even
after
a
cooling-
70% fit Pant is going to play for me. You know that what is at stake,
Why take a
keeping in
chance?
mind a WTC final.
No, why take a chance? Exactly, this is a very problematic situation. If you are taking WTC final, remember, you have to now win 3 matches and a draw. You may not get all of it in Australia.
Exactly.
So you need Pant for Australia. You don't need him more for this. Even a Dhruv Jurel can do it for you. Didn't India win without Pant in
He
England?
did it.
Against England.
Can.
I'm not denying that Dhruv Jurel cannot do it, but you know that you are in a very tricky situation as far as a possible spot in the WTC final is concerned, and also these injuries can be managed. You know, he doesn't really have to field at mid-on, mid-off, or maybe square leg. He can field in slips also. That's absolutely fine.
I don't think the Indian team will do that.
You're
Fielding him in
forgetting
slips.
two
Or
major
fine leg
things.
for that matter.
You're
Finally,
forgetting
you'll have to run, na? Deep final.
Not much.
You are forgetting 2 major things. Pant is not just a test player. He's trying to come back even in ODI cricket as well. And as a Champions Trophy, you're not going to pick Pant for the Champions Trophy. You will have to.
No,
Then-
KL Rahul won't play in the ODIs also now.
No, see, if Pant is there, man, I'm not
If
picking
Pant-
Rishabh Pant.
If Pant is there,
For an
one of
ICC
if
event.
Pant is there, one of KL Rahul or Shreyas Iyer will have to go out.
Yes,
Yes.
Iyer won't go out.
One
Plus,
off.
you've
No,
got
not in ODI. He's playing.
plus
He's
you've
got
got
a century
IPL.
today.
Plus you've got
Today you're
IPL,
dropping
Gulati. Are you going to rest Pant for IPL also? For WTC?
That's going to be a different
If
discussion
the
altogether
chance
then.
for a rest is now, it should happen now.
Fully fit Pant for BGT.
That's a good point.
Nathan Lyon will be sweating bullets, my friend. The only way India can ensure Australia's pace bowlers are kept at bay if you target Nathan Lyon. And the only guy who can do it effectively is Rishabh Pant.
But he's too scared of Yashasvi Jaiswal, Nathan Lyon.
Okay, see,
He's
Yashasvi,
saying this.
maybe your 3 pacers might nip him in the bud. But if a Rishabh Pant is there, Nathan Lyon, Australia's plans go awry. They go totally awry if Nathan Lyon's taken out of the attack.
But it's going to be a very interesting BGT. Australia on the peak, Indian team, new look, new approach, everything new. It's
Okay, let's take a few questions. We got Pango from US saying, is KL Rahul the Rahu of Indian batting? Why is he in the team? Pango, I think we already addressed that, right? We already addressed that question.
It's harsh, but I know you won't be swayed by it. So yeah.
Ashish Dhar, is India following England's baseball style of play? New Zealand last 3 wickets in first innings scored 171 runs, which proved to be the turning point. Yes, Ashish, we did discuss that as well.
But India is not following baseball style. I think
India is
baseball is
better than
mindless
baseball,
cricket.
yeah.
India playing much more proactive.
India won more than baseball.
Baseball is a failure.
as simple as that.
Please, baseball is a colossal failure. It's just some big marketing hype that was created. And Brendan McCullum also hates that term, by the way.
Thompson de Cruz says Gill and Sarfaraz for the next match. KL out or KL for BGT? We've, I think, answered that question as well, Thompson. Rakesh Bhushan says KL is batting at number 6, being opener to counter the new ball. Next match he has to be dropped for Gill and not Sarfaraz for sure. That's Rakesh's opinion. He has the same opinion as what Gulati had. Thompson de Cruz has another question. 3 spinners over 3 pacers. Right decision by India. Ooh, I think that they played that keeping in mind the fourth innings. It's just another matter that they got out for 46. As I said, if they had gotten out for 146, they are defending 207 now. I think your spinners would have really come into the fore.
True.
But you needed 207 for that. You don't right now.
Sure. Shubham Garg is saying, time to turn off the Bangalore ground drainage system. Let flood come into
Good
the
idea,
ground. All Indians
That's pretty
except
much
me
what Nikhil also said indirectly.
wants this flood to happen tomorrow. Why not? I mean, if you've gotten out of jail, you've gotten out
You
of
say
jail.
all Indians except Sidvi want this. Why? Acha, New Zealand.
It's a double
He
Kiwi
wants
delight
you.
tomorrow.
Could be a double Kiwi delight, but I told you now, the women's T20, I think South Africa are the favourites.
But you also didn't expect New Zealand to reach the final. You told me that West Indies are reaching.
I really didn't. So I got I got one right now. Out of
But I applaud you for that South Africa prediction.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are very hungry this time to win. So they might do it tomorrow.
Well done if you predicted a South Africa win there. They lost very close game last time around in the finals, wasn't it?
No, they lost by 20 runs in that final.
To
They lost
Australia
to that
only?
2020 T20 World Cup finals. Sydney.
Correct.
Yep. Shaky vlogger from the UK saying, Bumrah Siraj bowl 8 to 10 overs and after nothing much for the spinners, yet in this pitch to restrict under 107. It is not a ranked turner
Yes.
yet. Missed 3 paces. See, I think
Akashdeep.
Akash.
First 15 overs I think are going to be key. If New Zealand lose just
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 wickets, then
I think
it's pretty
you are
much game
seeing
over.
Bumrah and Siraj bowl 8 overs each. They'll have an extended spell tomorrow. That's the only way they can take out 2
Plus,
wickets.
see, I mean, we are discussing this hindsight, but Rohit Sharma has already come and accepted
Yes.
that he misread the pitch. So now, no
We
point
can't go
flogging
after
a
him every day exactly.
dead horse. No.
Yep.
At what point are we resting Jasprit Bumrah is what I'm thinking.
now if vice captain wants to say that I'm going to bowl 8 or 9 overs on the trot, can Rohit Sharma
Could
say
be the
anything to
second
him?
test match.
But
That's the
once you're 1-0 down.
Maybe
We'll have
Mumbai.
to. We'll have to.
See, if you come back in Pune, maybe you can afford to.
Pune, even the weather in
condition
Pune is
wouldn't be
not-
any different.
Or I think the team management have so much trust in his fitness now. I think they're not going to rest him because he's anyway going to have a 1 month rest anyway after that.
No, but Pune conditions are not going to be any
20
different.
day rest,
No, not even a 20-day rest.
14 day rest.
1 to 5, then you're going to travel to Australia.
Oh, so
you're going to play an intra-squad game also there. So
But that's so you
technically
know,
there is no rest.
it's behind closed doors.
17 days.
What happened?
17 days. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just reports come from there. No human being comes.
Okay,
from
please, can we see the
Pranit
name of the
Datta.
question? That's Pranit Datta.
Yes.
Okay.
yes. Go on.
Pranit Datta says, don't you think KL
Looked an average batter.
Looked an average batter on a pitch where all batsmen scored runs. He struggled today. I think it's mind that is beginning. But Pranit, that's what I said. You have to see the time that he came on. After that, most batters were looking. Even look at someone as set as Pant. He got a Jaffa and he was out. I think it was just the timing that just didn't work for him.
Correct.
But he's, I think as Shashwat mentioned, he's taken a step away from the team after this match also. Few more steps and then he'll have to be on the
And I
bench.
know, I do understand that the ball was really good and all of that, but I've seen KL Rahul get out the same way on same
Yeah,
such
yeah.
deliveries many times.
Yeah, he has,
Same,
of course.
absolutely same.
Then that means the bowlers have
Could
done
have
their
played it
homework on
better, no
KL.
doubt about it.
No, or maybe it's just by the look of it we feel that the ball was so.
The ball was good. See,
It
the
wasn't
extra
like
bounce you're
unplayable.
seeing. No, the extra bounce you are seeing, everyone's finding it. See, even that
But he was
Jadeja,
never
you're
going to
thinking
leave
the
that
shot.
ball.
Why are you seeing a shot? Because he saw it instinctively, he would have pulled it on other time. Is that extra bounce, no? It gets onto you.
And you're saying
Same
leaving
with
the
Pant.
ball. No.
Same with Pant. Same with Pant.
yeah.
He would have also. I'm
You
just saying
see,
that extra
problem
bounce
is
is
it
created.
leapt off a good length at pace. Now instinct doesn't allow you to immediately drop your wrist.
True.
You suddenly are winding up from that good length thinking you can defend, but once it's an extra bounce, gone.
Okay, Jayan Jha says, any logic about batsmen at 4-5 will not have good average?
And strike rate.
Yeah, in T20 cricket, definitely that's the case.
He's talking about T20.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
logic, I mean, that Pant
Yeah.
and all they bat at 4-5. kind of, you can't expect an average of 40,
Sure,
180.
absolutely. Unless you are Rinku Singh or Hardik Pandya,
Yeah.
Just two names come to my mind.
That's it. Out of 1,000,
Nitish Kumar Reddy, but he was batting a bit higher.
he was 4.
Four.
AB Tewatia.
Even Mike Hussey has a good average for T20.
Mike Hussey was an opener. Na?
Strike
In
rate.
IPL.
But no, I feel average can still be well.
Strike rate, I
Strike
think.
rate
But he's
is-
mentioned both.
No, I
Okay.
think average you can have a good average in the middle order because you go more often than not at times. Not
See,
out.
for example, Hussey you're talking about, na, he just had 2-3 major knocks. That's it in T20.
But
Ice.
average does struggle because you have no other option to build onto it. Whereas the top order.
Yeah,
ABT,
ABT.
of course. Sharath Reddy from the USA. Sarfaraz at 4-5 makes more sense, but at 6. Number 6 is never easy to bat. More often than not, your effort goes unnoticed. Isn't Jurel a better option at 6 for KL? Right now, though, we are finding it tough to fit Sarfaraz. Jurel also looked very good in those test matches versus England, but he is another step behind Sarfaraz. So the line is a bit long.
Yes.
Then you have
All of them deserve. Either way, that's as the often time the word is used, good headache for India to have. How many teams in world cricket right now can leave a batter if they were to leave Sarfaraz on the bench with a 70 average sitting on the bench? How many test matches?
And now you KL Rahul, this Sarfaraz Khan, Dhruv Jurel. You have Ishan Kishan scoring centuries. Shreyas Iyer has also
Shreyas Iyer has
scored a
also got
century.
100.
And Washington Sundar.
Washington Sundar
Washington
has got.
Sundar. Sai Sudarshan.
दो
is
टीम
not
भेज देते हैं ना
stopping.
बीजीटी.
I know.
Sai Sudarshan
So you
is
can
not
do
ready to.
workload management.
scoring
One
runs.
match, one team will play.
India doesn't do well in Perth, get India A for Adelaide.
No, but
Rotate in
do you
that
think
Rotate teams only.
And even Ishan Kishan is set to make his India A comeback. He's going to be
Ah.
there
Yeah,
for the tour
possibility,
down under.
possibility.
Yeah.
No, but don't you think that KL Rahul might not go to BGT?
No, he will go.
No, if two more failures.
He will still be a part of the squad.
May
They're
not
not
be
leaving him.
playing 11.
May not get playing 11, but I think you make it.
Squad, he'll definitely be there.
But I think then you'll just drop him after that, and people will say you dropped him without playing.
No,
People will
see,
forget this series.
See, he doesn't have a good record in Australia. If you take out that 100 in
He
Sydney,
got 100, yeah.
but if you take it out, it's woeful.
In the whole Sena countries, we calculated the average ones. If you take out that one,
29.
If you take out that 143 he got in England.
No, 149 and 127. That
So
he-
that
also
means you
has
take
100
out every batter's 100 from
I'm just
everywhere.
telling you.
You're falling into
Okay,
that
I'm
same
taking out your hundreds. Now look at your average.
No, it's just that one.
All
big
batters
score.
will.
I have just.
I know who you're
I calculated it
advocating
with
it
that
for. I know,
Yeah.
but please.
No, I'm not advocating it for anyone.
Praneeth Datta is saying, win the series first. Think about BGT. Pant has to play.
Yeah, about that comment.
But injury,
For you.
Yeah, injury, Praneeth. I might risk not having Pant for both this match, even as for the BGT also. Then that's a double whammy. Shubham Garg is saying 2019 KL dropped for Rowe. 2021 KL dropped for Gill. 2023 KL dropped for Yashasvi.
Point.
Now 2024 KL dropped for Sarfaraz. Effectively, all your batters come in place of KL. True that.
See, somewhere down the line you got to feel for him.
He's
For
Maybe
whom?
he himself has to.
No, you cannot.
He
feel
has to
for
be
him.
blamed also. No, I'm saying the blame also lies with him.
All of it lies. See, you would not have gotten so many test matches if you were dropped 5 times in a span of few years.
Point.
Yep.
So why you want to continue with him now?
I want to be done and dusted for months.
See,
and
he's
for-
a low-hanging fruit.
Because of that Manjrekar tweet.
Ah.
No.
No, he's.
Yeah.
You're not getting it.
But
He
the
gave
gist
that
is
same
that
logic
only,
for
yeah.
Virat in 2013. You're giving the same
I
logic
never
for KL Rahul.
gave it for
in-
Virat, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When did we say that?
So
He
you don't know
gave
the
that
people are
same
really-
logic for Virat in 2013. 13 was it? Or 14? Yeah, 2013.
2012, yeah.
12, 13,
12,
whatever.
yeah.
And you are giving the same logic for KL Rahul in 2024. That's it.
I mean, yeah. I think
Arya.
Sarthak Arya.
Yeah, Sarthak Arya. Imagine you have bundled a team out for 46 and then scored 400. They are making a comeback. A batter is on 90. You have the new ball and he sweeps a pacer for 107 meter 6. Rishabh Pant.
That is what I started off by. That see, in all of this you're forgetting where India were to begin this test match, and yet you are here.
Shashank Bhatt is saying, need one batter in Australia who can tire out bowlers. I can't
Pujara.
see this team achieving the same
Bring back
feat as last two
Chepu.
series.
That won't happen.
4-1 prediction.
Shubman Gill will have to play that role.
I think no.
Okay.
I have a feeling that India will take Abhimanyu Ishwaran and he could be that batter if
But
you
where
decide
will-
to play.
where will you- You
That's,
did not
just in
make him-
case of, there is any
This
injury.
is very wrong on him now.
No.
You did not make him late for all his peak years. Now you want
but
to
I
take
think
him
that he's going to-
because you need
But
somebody.
he'll take it, yeah, if you.
Yeah, he too will take it.
He's going to travel to Australia. Abhimanyu
Isn't
Ishwaran.
he there in the India team?
Yeah, he is
No, I
there, but
think now
I'm saying
Sai
part of the
Sudarshan
senior
is
team.
ahead of him. Sai Sudarshan, I think, is now ahead of him as far
Sai
as third
Sudarshan
overall is.
got a double 100. No?
Yeah. He was not ready to get out only.
What
Got
happened
out
with Ravi
at the
Srinivas
moment.
Sai Kishore?
Sai Kishore to bat.
Even Ishan
No,
Kishan
he's
scored a
batting
Bowler,
well.
bowler.
No, but he's
They
bowling.
didn't get out, they were at something 300 or something for one. The whole day Delhi bowlers are bowling in Delhi the whole day. One wicket.
Ishan
they have
Kishan
taken
scored 100 today.
in the whole day.
Yeah.
We mentioned that. Okay, Shubham Garg is saying, Nikhil sir, do you think Ruturaj should captain India A in Australia? In my opinion, he does not deserve a place. Sai and Ishwaran should be there. Rutu will just be on. No, that's also a bit unfair.
It would be either Iswaran or Ruturaj captaining the India.
No, I think Ruturaj will.
No,
I have a feeling.
I think it was Abhimanyu Iswaran latest, but it could be Ruturaj also.
But he will definitely.
Either one.
Yeah.
It used to be Priyank Banchal at one point.
Sarthak Arya is saying live dugout later or tomorrow. No, this is our dugout, not. But tomorrow we may have a dugout because if the game if there's no rain, we'll finish early. So we'll do a dugout later in the evening.
Yep.
That is something that we will do.
Sharath Reddy is saying, are we still picking the best batsman first, then giving them a position? Or else, do we pick a position-specific batter with skills for that?
No, I don't think we're so specific. The position is only if you're an opener or a middle order, and that's at best. Anyway, young players coming in have to adjust. It's happened. You moved around. Virat Kohli as a senior player has had to adjust.
Yes.
His
But he
position
did
is
not
set.
have to adjust because of a youngster, na?
But
He
whatever he's had to
because of a
adjust.
Senior player only.
Yeah, but no, why?
KL Rahul he adjusted because of KL.
No, but also Shubman, no, basically went out, so he's filling in. He was a youngster. But whoever is adjusting, well, he's doing it now.
He's doing it for the team.
But he's even senior, he could have said no.
He is following Indian parampara. Adjust karna hai.
But Virat really likes KL, so it's okay to.
Okay, well, last two comments we're taking. One from Rahul, he says, look at the new tall fast bowler sensation. He bowls at good pace with extra bounce and zip, looking like a good prospect for a future. Agreed, not giving,
jinx it.
but not giving enough credit to Rook, right? He's been outstanding.
Yes.
Outstanding. What a spell.
Don't jinx
what
it.
a spell. That he bowled.
Because Will O'Rourke needs to be managed well.
What did I tell you upstairs?
Yeah.
If he
300.
stays
He actually talks like a New Zealand, you
If he-
have to
if he
manage
stays
him
fit-
well. It's for the future.
You know
You cannot
why-
allow him to
Don't
be.
jinx it.
Because 2 years back we had a similar discussion for one particular individual, Kyle Jameson.
Yes.
But he never recovered from that injury.
Stress
that back-
fracture.
That's
Yeah.
what he's
Great
saying. na?
stress back
Look after
fractures.
him also.
The same injury, who had it right now? I don't remember.
Cameron Green?
Yeah, same injury.
Green. So that's
I think
why.
only 24 players have had that injury. It was only one Kyle Jamieson who never recovered from that injury. Everyone else.
See, unlike Jameson, Rourke has got more pace.
And if he doesn't, if he stays fit and doesn't opt for a casual contract, who knows, he might get to 300 test
Kyle
wickets.
Jamieson.
But for me, more than O'Rourke, it's Matt Henry, who's the heartbeat of this New Zealand bowling lineup. Him and Tim Southee,
Heart of the attack.
heart of the attack.
Kyle Jamieson was asked to bowl with the Dukes during the IPL. Na? Then he
Yes, Dan Christian revealed that.
But it still didn't work. Kohli got out
no, he
twice.
refused. He said, I wouldn't bowl with the Dukes. Why would I do that?
Okay, final comment of the evening. Naman Kantpal says, good evening, gents. But what I feel is commendable effort by the top and middle order, but lower middle and tail went wanting. Whenever we won overseas, tail has wagged. This time, unfortunately, it did not happen, which is true.
It is true.
It's a fact.
It is true.
On that note, thank you so much for giving us company. Another day of Test cricket comes to an end, and as I said at the start, what an exciting day of cricket we had. Let's see if a minor miracle can be achieved, because like India did in 2004, I was there in that ground at Wankhede, 93 all out.
93 all out in a defense of 104.
Harbhajan Singh 5 wickets, 3 wickets for Murli Karthik, and India
Won
got
by
them
13
out
runs.
below 100. But that pitch was turning square, where you had Clark also
6 for 9.
pick up wickets. So that isn't happening here. That's the only difference.
Yeah, and New
But let's
Zealand, yes, 106 the last time. If someone defended a total less than 200 in Bengaluru, India, Australia, BGT. India bundled Australia for 112 in a chase of 175. So it is an uphill task, but anything can happen. What if New Zealand cannot survive the Bumrah Siraj spell early on in the first hour?
Yeah.
But just one spell, that's also an issue.
Yeah, but who knows? Even Kuldeep. could
4 for Bumrah in that spell, 3 for
DSP
Siraj,
Saab takes 3
7
wickets.
down, then spinners come and tackle.
Ashwin.
Mohammad Richards becomes Mohammad
Holding.
Mohammad Holding or Mohammad Lily.
Mohammad Holding.
Hold-
Yeah.
Oh, you need a bowler like Noman.
No, but
That's
that pitch was
Jadeja.
different. No, that was 9th day pitch.
Yeah.
But he needs to become Mohammad Vas with the red ball, 8 for 19.
Typical orthodox.
Yeah.
Don't compare him to Chaminda. Chaminda, legend of the game.
And you're comparing him with Richards.
Holding. Chalo.
Okay.
See you guys.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Good night. Shubh Ratri. Shabba Khair.
Eat your vegetables.
And don't trouble your mother.